Hey, third graders, it's Mrs. Linderman. We're going to read a book today. It's called I Am Enough by Grace Byers. We're going to talk about it in just a second, but what we're going to focus on today is something called a simile and a metaphor. Okay, so I made a couple of charts to show you. So you might have heard these words before, but you might be wondering, what is a simile? And you're going to use a simile when you're in writing. You're going to see it in books that you read. And we use similes when we compare two things, all right? So we're using the word like or the word as when we're comparing some things. And I'd give you some examples here. You've probably heard this one before, busy as a beaver, right? Someone might be really working hard and someone says that they're being as busy as a beaver, right? So they're comparing that person who's a hard worker to a beaver because beavers are hard workers too. You may have heard this one before, wise as an owl. Okay, you'll notice I'm using the word as to compare, right? A person is as wise as an owl. How about this one? He cried like a baby. So now I'm not using the word as, I'm using the word like. And I'm describing somebody and I'm comparing them to a baby, right? So you can imagine, you can visualize what that might be like. How about this one? She was as quiet as a mouse. Okay? So comparing someone who's being very quiet to how quiet a mouse is, using the word as. And then finally, I've got one here that says the boy was tall like a giraffe. So comparing this boy who's tall, and he's tall like a giraffe is tall. Okay, so that's what a simile is. A simile is part of something called figurative language. It's different ways that we can get ideas across, but you can compare things using a simile. You can also compare things using metaphors. That's another big fancy vocabulary word, metaphor. We're still comparing, but this time you don't use the words like or as, but instead you're just saying that something is actually the other thing. All right, so here's some examples. The dog is lightning fast. Okay, we could say the dog is as fast as lightning, and that would be called a simile. But when I'm actually comparing, I'm saying that the dog actually is lightning fast, that's what's called a metaphor. Okay? How about her eyes are a blue ocean? Okay? So they're saying this girl's eyes are so blue, right? They're bright blue like the ocean, but using it in a metaphor sentence. Her eyes are a blue ocean. So you can picture what her eyes look like. This is me without my contacts. She is a blind bat. Yep, I have to wear them or I can't see what I'm doing. How about the man is a pale ghost? If somebody said that to you and they use that metaphor, you would know that his skin is very white, right? The man is a pale ghost. He doesn't have any color. He's not been in the sunshine. And then finally, this is very appropriate for our snow day week. The snow is a white blanket. Right? We've had a couple snow days the last few weeks. The snow is a white blanket. So looking outside and thinking that the snow actually is a blanket, which is true. It's covering the grass and everything underneath it. Okay, so there are two ways that we can compare things using a simile or a metaphor. And I just put them together in a diagram, right? You know, this is a Venn diagram. Most of the time, you'll see two circles and they overlap in the middle. We always have a hard time writing in that little tiny space in the middle. So I just made rectangles instead. Okay, here's what a simile is. Here's what a metaphor is. And then in the middle, this is about both of them. This is how they're alike. These are the traits or qualities that are about a simile only, the ones only about a metaphor. But then how are they the same? Okay, I told you already that a simile uses like or as, right, when they're comparing things. So you'll see that in some sentences and it will jump right out at you and you'll say to yourself, oh, that's a simile, right? They're comparing some things. If you notice, they're comparing something, but they don't use those two words, right? And instead they say something is something else. That's what a metaphor is. But look at them. They're alike because both of them are comparing things just in a different way. Okay, so your job today is you're gonna have some simile work to do after we read this story. This is one of my favorites that I like to read every year. I want you just to take a look at it. I told you that it was by Grace Byers, right? The pictures are by Keturah A. Bobo. That's the artist, and there are pictures of the artist and the author in the back. So I'll show you those when we're done. But just as we start to read, I want you to take a peek. What do you notice? What are some things that you think about this? What does the title mean to you? I am enough. We're going to learn and see some similes in this story, and I want those to jump out at you. Okay, so think about what you notice. Love, 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 her hair. My friend, Mrs. Shannon loves purple. The inside of this book is purple, so I always think of her when I read it. I am enough. And she's got the very beginning, she's got her dedication. Right? And this one is by the author, her initials. This one is by the illustrator and their initials. So you know when you read books, authors and illustrators often dedicate their work to somebody that made a difference in their life. Like the sun, I'm here to shine. I wonder what that means. Like the voice, I'm here to sing. Like the bird, I'm here to fly and soar high over everything. So who's being compared to a bird and to a voice and to the sun? Like the trees, I'm here to grow. Like the mountains, here to stand. Like time, I'm here to be and be everything I can. Like the champ, I'm here to fight. Like the heart, I'm here to love. Hearts love, champs fight. Ooh, I love this one. Like a ladder, here to climb, and like the air, to rise above. Where do you suppose she's going? I think she might be going anywhere she wants to go. Like the wind, I'm here to push. Like a rope, I'm here to pull. Like the rain, I'm here to pour and drip and fall until I'm full. Like the moon, I'm here to dream. Like the student, here to learn. Fun slippers. Like the water, here to swell. Like the fire, here to burn. Like the winner, I'm here to win. And if I don't, get up again. Right? We can't win everything, but we have to keep trying. So she just missed the finish line, but she'll keep going. I know that I may sometimes cry, but even then, I'm here to try. I'm not meant to be like you. You're not meant to be like me. Sometimes we will get along, and sometimes we'll disagree. I know that we don't look the same. Our skin, our eyes, our hair, our frame. Our frame just means our body, our bones, and our skin. But that does not dictate our worth. We both have places here on earth. And in the end, we are right here to live a life of love, not fear. To help each other when it's tough, to say together, I am enough. What do you think about that? What do you think that means, I am enough? What do I notice about this picture, this drawing? I love all the details on their shirts, right? Sunshine and the heart and the peace sign and the star. She's got fun striped socks on. Girl in a wheelchair, a girl with blonde hair, a girl with super curly short hair, right? She's got braids. She's got glasses. She's wearing her sweatshirt around her waist, right? And she's wearing a different type of kind of a hat. It's called a hijab. Right? Some people with specific religions wear those, and we respect that. Just because we're different, right, doesn't mean we're not the same on the inside. Okay? Look at what they're standing on. Do you notice that? I think the author's trying to tell you something by putting them on this. Right? Think about what that is supposed to represent. They all look different sizes, different shapes, different skin colors, different hair colors, right? But they're all from the same place. They all live on the planet Earth, right? And they're all worthy, no matter what their differences are. Okay? And some of us will get along and some of us won't, right? We can disagree, and that's okay, but we need to respect each other. We don't have to understand it, but we have to respect somebody else's opinion. Okay? I wonder, are you like the moon? To dream? Right? Do you sometimes cry, but then get back up again? Right? Sometimes we don't get along with our friends or our family. Right? But I hope you're all like the sun and that you're here to shine. Okay, so remember, when we first started talking about this book, I was pointing out similes and metaphors. Right? Those are some things that good writers use. She used a lot of them in here, right? She talked about all the different ways grace is like something else, like the sun, like a heart, right? So I want you to be thinking about similes as you work on today's Google Classroom assignment.